Welcome everybody to another round of World of Tanks subscriber replays. My name as always is Maxwell, and today's first video is from the user Observer413. That's Observer413, and he's driving the Tiger II on an encounter battle on the steppes. Tiger II being the Tier 8 heavy tank for the Germans. Had a little bit of buff, I think it was the last patch or the patch before, where the lower plate received a little bit, possibly the lower plate, but the commander's hatch at the top there definitely received an armor buff to bring it more in line with the rest of the turret. And just those very small changes make this a pretty powerful tank, especially when it is top tier. So, going to see how this one goes. Most of the team committing to this left-hand side. They've got what looks like one, possibly two AFKs in the centre there. So this may not go very well for the team. They do have a 58% win chance, so this might go okay for them. But we're going to see. Observer just getting a little bit of damage onto this IS-2. IS-2 not quite able to get anything in return. KV-1S pops his head out and he takes a shot as well. So already off to a good start, keeping the enemy pinned behind these rocks. But it looks like most of the guys who went to the right flank haven't really reached there yet. So let's hope that the enemy doesn't try and rush a base capture down. He's focusing on that KV-1S, takes him out, and that is kill number 1 for Observer413. So just going to keep these guys behind the rocks for as long as possible, and it looks like the enemy team has already started that base capture. Oh, a little bit unlucky there not to hit the 1S, but as we see there, the 1S just bouncing ineffectually on the front of the Tiger II. Pops himself out, finds a couple of guys stranded out in the middle of the open and just has a good shot at them. Takes a little bit of damage himself, but I think he can afford to take about, what was that, 120 damage? So yeah, can definitely afford to do that in order to get some damage on those T-34s caught in the centre there. Because, I mean, they are just way out in the open with nowhere really to go. Looks like they've probably backed off now as there's just this T-29 left. Keeping an eye on those left-hand tanks there, just to see if anybody pushes themselves out so he can get himself forward and get some more damage onto that T-34. Looks like the guys behind the rocks are just a little bit scared to poke out. So this is actually shaping up to be quite an even battle here, just because both teams... Oh, 0 damage critical. Both teams have committed about the same amount of forces to the right-hand flank and the left-hand flank. So this one should be fairly even. Although at the moment the enemy team is winning 5 kills to 2. So a little bit of a whitewash at the moment. I think what happened is the guys on the right-hand side of these rocks to Observer just got caught out in the open and taken out by the concentrated collection of forces of the enemy here. Oh, nice shot there, taking out that KV-1S. So 2 quick kills there for Observer, evening up the score a little bit. It's now 6-5. He's going to try and take out this T-34 before he manages to get into cover. That T-34 is quite a big threat in this battle, as is this IS-3, but the IS-3's made a bit of a foolhardy push. One shot, there we go, and he becomes kill number 4. So the enemy team has decided that they can't really fight a protracted battle out in the open here and are just dropping back behind the ridgeline there with that T-29 and that, oh, a little bit unfortunate, and that T-34. T-29 definitely shouldn't have turned his turret like that. If you needed to look somewhere, hold the right-hand mouse button down, because presenting the side of his turret there just cost him his life. Really should have kept the front facing this the direction that the damage was coming in from. So it looks like it's still pretty even on the far right-hand flank as well. At least those guys haven't buckled over there, because if they fall, then it's going to be all she wrote. There's no way these guys are going to be able to get over there and do something about it with this T-34, T-150 and the Caernarvon in the way. Although it looks like they've still got a KV-1S AFK and that Tiger. I have no idea why he's camping in the base. That T-34 was almost lucky that... that Observer hadn't reloaded yet, but as it was, he had reloaded and was just able to sneak some damage through and take him out. One more shot should be enough to get this Caernarvon. Hopefully he can angle him so well. He didn't manage to reload in time. Maybe he had a damaged gun, because that Caernarvon has a significantly shorter reload than the Tiger II. One more shot. Ooh, very lucky for the T-34 there, just managing to drop back down the ridgeline enough that his front plate was angled in such a way that that shot was going to bounce all day long. But luckily for Observer, his gun reload was a little bit faster and is aiming a little bit truer. And that is another kill for Observer 413, taking his total up to 7 now. So it's still pretty even, 12 kills to 11, but like I said, they've got a Tiger who camped in the centre of the map for the whole game for some reason, and they've got a KV-1S that is AFK in the spawn zone. So really, it's Observer versus 4 tanks here, 2 Tiger 2s, a Hellcat and a Jagdpanzer 4. Going to try and take out one of the fellow Tiger 2s who was in the centre here as he makes his way across to the base capture. As you can see though, they've only got 1 tank in there and there's still 3.5 minutes left on that, so shouldn't be too much of a worry. Just rushed his shot a little bit on that Hellcat, but knew that after the Hellcat shot he was going to be away, so might as well have had that one just in case he did hit. Finds the Jagdpanzer and that shot wasn't going to miss. And he is kill number 8. Finds the Hellcat again. Hellcat has a shot and moves, but this time his gunner was true and was able to hit that one no problem whatsoever. Oh, the enemy Tiger 2 terraforming the ground rather than hitting Observer here. And he's just got 87 hit points left, so one more good shot should be able to take him out. And there we go. That is kill number 10. And now it's just going to be Observer versus the enemy Tiger 2, which looks like, obviously, he's going to be the one who is base capping. Not sure how many hit points he's got left, though, because Observer's only got 624. And he definitely doesn't have the speed or agility to be able to maneuver around him. So it's not like he's in a medium or a light tank where he can come at him from one angle, have a shot, then disappear and come at him from a different angle and have another shot. Basically what's going to happen is he's going to get the drop on him. He's probably going to get one good shot at him. If that's not enough to kill him, then they're going to have to basically square off face to face against each other. Hopefully in a position where they can play peekaboo around a corner. If not, they're just going to have to try and stand and face tank each other's damage. So just going to speed this one up a little bit until he finds the Tiger 2. He's stopped the base capture now, so he could be absolutely anywhere. So Observer's still coming to the base area, because if he's not here, then at least he can start a base capture. But just going to take it a little bit slow. There he is. So he's got the element of surprise. He's got one shot, and that was unlucky. His first one bounced, and they've got around about the same amount of hit points. Ooh, but the enemy Tiger 2 rushing his shot a little bit and terraforming the ground. And there we go again, the bug where you don't see the outline of the tank. Rest assured he did see all of him. One more shot should be enough to take him out. Ooh, very, very low roll there. That was a little bit unfortunate, just leaving him with 15 hit points. But he knows he's got the hit points to be able to soak even a good penetrating hit from the other Tiger 2. So just left himself out there. Didn't rush his shot, took him out, and that is kill number 11 for 4,500 damage. So absolutely awesome replay there from Observer 413. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Stick around, because as always, the score screens are coming right up. And our next replay is from the user Racksmith. That's Racksmith, and he's driving the Matilda on a standard battle on the Swamp. The Matilda being the tier 4 medium tank for the British. This thing can be a little bit of a beast. It does have fantastic armour, not the greatest gun in the world, but it does have some awesome rate of fire. As you see, the gun a little bit on the lower caliber side, but like I said, it does have an awesome rate of fire. You're really able to catch people by surprise and just lay some good sustained damage on them, not really expecting you to be able to fire as fast, so leave themselves out hanging too long and get themselves eliminated, which is normally the saving grace of the slightly subpar British guns, is that they do have fantastic rate of fire to make up for the poor alpha damage. So Racksmith just going to take up a position here and going to try and cover his allies as they make an advance forward. Finds a Lux here, has one shot at him but misses. ricochets another shot, and then this B1 gets in the way, and it just doesn't have another shot after that. So a little bit unfortunate there that that B1 had no idea what he was doing, falling off the edge of the bridge there, but prevented Racksmith from getting any shot in on that Lux. But he got taken out in short order, so no big loss really. So deciding that his allies have pushed up too far on the southern flank there, not really going to be able to get a shot on anybody, as like I said, the allies have pushed up so far that he's not going to have an angle to be able to hit anybody. Quite a lot of people AFK in the middle here. Not sure why that AMX-40's turned around to look at the other two. Maybe he's deciding whether to shoot at them or not. So Racksmith just going to relocate to this northern flank, considering that he can't hit anybody on the southern flank. Although it looks like some of these guys have taken to the ridge, like this AMX-40. Going to see if we can get a shot on him, but no. Looking at these guys, not sure why, because they're on the other side of the mountain. Looks like he's trying to get a silhouette on them, but probably just not played the swamp very much, as the map's been out of rotation for such a long time. Probably not realising that those guys are actually on the other side of a hill. So the allies have got the northern flank, what looks like, under control. I think he sees now that those guys are on the other side of a hill, so just forgetting about them. Going to come around and see if he can get some damage on this AMX-40. The duck, as it's known, in its natural habitat in the middle of the pond there. Should be able to get some good damage through the side here, and there's going to be nothing this AMX-40 can do. He's out in the middle of the open, he's got no cover. Even if he starts running, he's never going to get away, and he becomes kill number 1 for Racksmith. Although the game's not going particularly well at the moment, it's 7 kills to 4 for the enemy, and the allies look like they've got 2 AFK tanks at the spawn zone there, so that's really 9 to 4 when you take those into account. And that DW2 getting ganged up on in the north there. They did have the northern flank kind of even. Finds this Panzer 1C here, just going to pound him as he makes a move towards the AFK guys. And he becomes kill number 2. Thing about the Matilda is it may be a medium tank, but it definitely doesn't have the speed or agility of any other medium tank. This thing plays a lot more like a heavy than even some heavies do. So you've really got to treat it as a heavy tank rather than a medium. Finds an enemy T-28 here. You can only see the top of his turret, but still going to have some shots, because let's face it, he's not short on rounds and he's not short on rate of fire. And the T-28 pops back into view. But he accidentally gets the Panzer 2G instead, and that is 2 quick kills for Racksmith, evening up the score a little bit, making it 10 to 7. But like I said, with those 2 AFK tanks in the spawn zone there, more like 12 to 7. He's going to be heading off and trying to take out this LTP. Tries to make his retreat, but he's nowhere near fast enough on the reverse, and he just becomes kill number 5 for Racksmith. And it looks like the guys in the south have been pushed pretty damn hard now, and these guys are moving in on the spawn zone. Not that that really matters, as the base is set much further north than that. Another AMX-40 in the sights of Racksmith here, and he's just going to pound him until he dies. The MX-40 deciding that he doesn't need cover, relying on his armor, which didn't really do anything, as each shot sailed right through and just took him out, and that becomes kill number 7 on the enemy Matilda. And I think the state of play should really tell you something about the power of this tank, considering the Allied team has 3 Matildas and the enemy team has 2 Matildas left. It just goes to show which tanks are the best. Finds a DW2 here. Just going to pound some damage on him as he fades back in the fog of war, but he's just going to have a couple more shots just in case he manages to land something on him. So really just setting themselves up now to be able to cover any flank that anybody comes from. In the north there, they've got 1 Matilda looping around to the spawn zone and the base. They've got another Matilda in the south there, trying to spot anybody who comes around that bridge or on that little ridge there. And you've got Racksmith in the centre here doing all of the work. So we've got someone moving around here. He's got the other Matilda in his sights by the looks of it. But that's probably going to prove to be a mistake, as Racksmith is able to get consistent damage right through his front armour, while everybody else just seems to be bouncing. So the enemy tanks managed to get himself into cover behind the wreck of that other tank there. In fact, there's a couple of them there that looks like an AMX, and not really sure, but still taking shots from the right-hand side there. That's almost certainly going to be that that DW2. And there's a T-127 moving in from the north, going to be going for a base capture. We're going to speed this one up a little bit because, like I said, the Matilda is just absolutely painfully slow. Definitely not handling like a medium tank. So as he's moving up to the base, he knows that he's got a little bit of time to spare, so just going to lock his gun on the position of that DW2 and just going to fire off a few shots before he gets into the cap zone. And apparently there's nobody here. So that T-127's a nice small tank, so he's probably just hidden himself behind all of these boxes. Yep, there we go. Racksmith just going to take out the boxes, and there's going to be nothing this T-127 can do, because his gun's never going to penetrate this Matilda. He's not fast enough to carousel around him, and this is just going to be all short, especially now he's taken out the track. There's nothing he can do here. And all he can do is just rage with his keyboard. You see, he takes his gun off target because he knows there's nothing he can do against a Matilda. So evened up the score nicely here at 12-12. The enemy team's got 2 Matildas and that DW2 against 3 Matildas of the Allied team. One of them looks like he's going for a base capture. That's the guy from earlier. Looks like he hasn't stopped reversing since the little scuffle that they had earlier. Although the Allied Matilda's only got 67 hit points himself, so he's having to play this one a little bit carefully. I don't think that enemy Matilda's going to pop his head out too far. Last time he was seen, that DW2 looked like he was actually advancing, so going to have to be careful of that guy as well. And finally, one of those other Matildas gets a kill, but then gets himself taken out, so it looks like they really destroyed each other there. One shot each. Now that DW2 has been eliminated, that leaves the one Matilda on the far left-hand flank and Racksmith here. That Matilda on the far left-hand flank is obviously going to be going for a base capture. So Racksmith just going to try and take out this last enemy Matilda before he's able to do that. Just got to find the guy first. Last time he was seen, he was around here in the river. And there we go, he finds him. But he's got his side armor presented. There we go. He spins himself slightly better onto... well, slightly better, but he's still... there we go. He's angled himself nicely, but Racksmith is able to take out his track. And then he's just got to find the weak spots. As you see, the Matilda doesn't have many weak spots, but he eventually finds it. And the enemy Matilda becomes kill number 10. So absolutely awesome replay there from Racksmith. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, leave me a like or favourite. Stick a comment in the comment section below letting me know exactly what you thought of the various replays. And don't forget to have a go guessing which tank and which map features in the thumbnail. This has been World of Tanks. I have been Maxwell, and I will catch you next time.